Why is teaching English in Vietnam drying up for brown and black foreigners? Let's talk about it. So you want to teach English in Vietnam and you're a brown or a black foreigner? Stay tuned to this video, watch the whole video, and you will understand what's going on here in Vietnam. Let's talk about it. So I'm sure most of you guys who don't know anything about the ESL industry in Vietnam, let me drop some nuggets for you guys, man. What's happening over here in the last couple years for brown and black people? Everyone knows that Vietnam prefers lighter skin and white skin, so that translates into the ESL industry. And so what's been going on is, before 2020, it was really easy to get a job for a brown and black person. No matter if you were from Nigeria, you were from Africa, or you were from, you know, the USA or Australia or England, right? It was no problem for us. But post pandemic, it has definitely messed up a lot of what's going on, because most of these English schools, before, they had always preferred lighter skinned teachers, but because there was, you know, most of those teachers left Vietnam, now they were left with everyone else, you know. So now they just accepted a lot of people. But now, you know, in 2024, a lot of these schools are being more, they've actually, post-COVID, have actually closed down, right? And the biggest thing was, last year or beginning of this year, the English department, the Ministry of English department, they passed a law that said that English is no longer compulsory. So now they can choose whether they want to have English, they want to learn English, or whether they don't want to learn English. So that was a huge negative, you know, that hit a lot of these schools and ESL schools that are out there, you know, the English centers. So a lot of schools have been losing students left and right learning English. And so again, it's now not compulsory to learn English. Now maybe they'll bring it back in the future, hopefully they do, so it can be better again. So that's what's been going on, you know, in Vietnam in the last two years, let's say. So that's one, right? They've gotten rid of the English requirement, so high school kids don't have to learn English anymore. And then two, they lost a lot of European and American teachers, you know, that they preferred. So they all went back home or went off to teach elsewhere in a different country, you know. But then you know, there's just been a shortage of English jobs, you know what I mean? So now everyone's got you know, there's a lot of competition out there, so everyone's got to you know, give their A game, you know what I mean? And so the ESL department is changing, and so this is what I want to tell you next, is what the future holds for brown and black foreigners who want to teach English in Vietnam. Stay tuned. This is the future of teaching English in Vietnam for brown and black people. I think that now, you know, you have to be on your A game, whether you carry the TEFL certificate or whether you carry a bachelor's degree. You have to, they're gonna make it more tight for the English teaching, because it's not a requirement anymore. Hopefully in the future they'll bring it back, but right now it's gotten so much more difficult to find a job. So for example, you know, I just switched my job, and so it was more difficult for me to find a job this time around than it has ever been in my whole career as an English teacher in Vietnam. So I'm telling you from my personal experience that it is very, very difficult for a brown and black person to find jobs in ESL industry right now. Like really moving forward, I think that's going to be even tougher as well. So, if you what I would say is that you have to, if you want to win here in Vietnam, you have to make sure that you're an English teacher, in your native country, and that you have those certifications, and that you can come here with those certifications and ball out. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, just make sure that you have you can carry an English degree, like an actually English teaching degree. You can make way more money with if you're an English teacher, you can make way more money. So here in Vietnam. So just make sure that you are, you come with your certifications up, right on. Make sure you have copy, make sure that they're legalized, right? Get a stamp at the US Embassy for all your degrees. And then just make sure that you meet people that you can connect with, right? That they can network with you, because in the future, I feel like it's only going to be, who you meet, right? Because you can get online and you can fill out all these applications, but they're not gonna look at you, right? Unless you have the right qualifications. As a brown and black person, you have to step up your game here in Vietnam, because they don't want you. They don't prefer us, But if you can show them that you have what it takes, then there's no way that you're gonna lose. All right. So what should you do in order to, stand out, right? So let me tell you next. And so finally, if you want to stand out in the teaching English here in Vietnam, and I would recommend that you start networking with people. Again, network with as many English teachers that that you can get a hold of, and see if their job is hiring. I don't know. That's basically how I found a lot of my jobs, was basically off of networking. So yeah, this job I just found, actually, I got through like Indeed, but that's pretty rare, you know what I mean? And so I would definitely network. That's going to be your number one thing that could help you get a job and stuff, you know what I mean? So if you are always looking for new work, then you can always have your people, just contact them, message them. Get on Zalo. It's an app that's here. It's like a WhatsApp, but it's more for Vietnamese and for Vietnam in general is what I mean. And so there's tons of groups there that are looking for cover teachers. And so I'll show you right here that they're always looking for cover teachers to just cover for a day, cover for a couple days, a month, or whatever. And so if you get in on those job boards, that would be really, really beneficial for you, because you can pick up more work, and so like quick work, you know what I mean? Some people need some covers, and so you'll be able to pick that up, you know what I mean? Really, really easy, and it's every day. So you will always have some sort of work or something, you know what I mean? So number 3, I would definitely network with, these job boards, right? So if you come across like Indeed, there's Vietnamese ones, I'll put up here or in the description for you, but there are a ton of jobs where you like LinkedIn as well. So like Indeed, LinkedIn. So you can, put yourself in the best possible situation, right? When you're looking for a job, right? And number 4, just make sure that you can walk around and in your neighborhood or whatever, and you can see if there's English centers that are hiring. Just go in there, ask them. They should usually have little signs that say like hiring or whatever. And so just look at them, look at their center, and then go back home and Google it, you know what I mean? And then go from there, go on their website, so I typically like to go directly. I don't like to go through job boards. I tend to look for the person who's, at the bottom that's hiring, the hiring manager, and then I send them an email and just say, hey, how are you? This is my, I'm Kevin, and I'm looking for a job. I saw that you're hiring. So are you still hiring, and for which centers or which area are you hiring for? Like, get directly into it. Don't just rely on Indeed or these other job boards, because there's hundreds of people doing the same thing you're doing, but not a lot of people go directly to that person and send an email directly to the person. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is just a little quick dark side of what's going on with this English department and the English language industry, and I really hope that it really changes, man, because we have a lot to offer, and if they just go based on the color of your skin, then that's not okay. I mean, that's discrimination, but there is no discrimination here. So at the end of the day, you have to be a good person. Always be a good person to your fellow Vietnamese, the locals, and they surprisingly will refer you, and you can start teaching privately, and so they love to do that. So if you're a good person and you show them that you actually give results, then you can make way more money teaching private than with English Center. So if you have any questions, leave it in the comment section, and I promise you, if you do pursue ESL teaching here in Vietnam, you're definitely gonna love it, man. It's amazing. So have any questions, let me know what your thoughts are on this topic, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. See you on the next one. Bye.